Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. I'm an addiction recovery coach, also a life coach. Folks, I am here to talk to you today on this beautiful Saturday morning here at 4 a.m. in Chester, Virginia, where God allowed to give me 86,400 seconds to live today. I want to talk to you about 7 reasons why you, my friends, should never pretend to be someone you're not. Don't ever try to be someone you're not, because God has created you the way you are. You were created by God as the masterpiece that sits behind the camera here, watching me. Do not try to change what God has created you. There's a reason God created you the way you are. You are a miracle of life. We can be anything we want to be, but you cannot be anyone that you want to be. We can strive to be ourselves from the gift of God and to change ourselves to being something better. But you cannot be the person that you are not. You cannot be a different person. You could be a scientist, my friends, a chef. You can be a dancer, an entrepreneur. You could be a writer and even an artist. Maybe even an astronaut or the President of the United States. Everything is possible. But rather, you have no other wise choice than to be yourself. But you can strive to be a different title, a different career, but you cannot strive to be anyone other than yourself. Folks, I will give you a few reasons, 7 reasons why you should never be someone you're not. Reason number 1 is that you will almost always fail. Pushing yourself to be someone that you're not is not that easy, my friends. Sometimes in life we find ourselves in situations that require us to adapt, maybe to someone that we really aren't to be. But you cannot be a person that you're not wanting to be. It will almost guaranteedly fail each and every time. Think about it. But this sort of transformation is usually unsustainable when you try to do that, because it's hard to have that act going throughout your life. Let's say at the age of 55 and I wanted to be someone totally different now. I would have to each and every day act in a different way to not be myself. But remember that God had created you to be the way you are. You have it in your DNA to be you the way you are. Number 2, even if you do succeed, you certainly will not be happy, because you are walking around with a mask on. You're walking around with a different personality, because we have somewhat natural levels of each individual personality that was given to us by God. Pushing any one trait outside the limits is uncomfortable for all of us. We are creating tension by pushing ourselves to think that we don't, and I repeat that we don't usually think and act in a different way. We think and act the way God has created. Now, sometimes we can adapt and change the way we think and change the way we act, but we cannot be a different person than God has created us to be. I will tell you this: when you accept Jesus into your life, you will be a more well, I should say you will be a different person, but not in a way that's going to change your personality, because your personality was created by God. Continuing to pretend you are someone you're really not will eventually make you crash, and my friends, it will make you burn. You may be able to push yourself to the limits to do so for maybe a couple of years, but then you will crash and burn. Nevertheless, one day, even if it's your last day, you will come to realize that you have wasted so much time on being someone that you are not. Now, I'm going to read from over here on my script, so bear with me. Experiencing such a huge loss at a time can push you over the edge. And for the folks that are out there that have maybe living in recovery with some sort of drug addiction or alcohol addiction, experience such a huge loss by being someone you are not and crashing and burning will push you over the edge. And my friends, you don't want to relapse to the old days of drugs and alcohol. Congratulations for all you folks that are living out there and watch me right now that are living in recovery, such as myself. And you don't need to agitate your living in recovery by being someone you're not. To make things worse, before you crash and burn, you will most likely put yourself further and further in the wrong direction. Guaranteed maximum misery before you fall apart, sort of almost like going back to drinking and doing drugs. The more you consume, the worse you feel. Think about it. The more you pretend to be someone else is like the more you drink and the more you do drugs, because the worse you're going to feel. Wouldn't it be great to wake up each and every day and being who God created, the miracle that you are? Another one is the longer and further you manage to push yourself, the more painful it is to fall back into reality, because once you have pretended to be someone that you're not, and you have lied over and over to cover up the old lies, it's hard to come back to that, my friends. By the time you accept defeat, knowing that you couldn't change what God has created, you would have caused immense damage to your mind, your body, your relationships, and to your whole life, my friend. So why even get into all that? It's hard for me to explain, but I think we all have this imagination that we want to be someone that we are not. My friends, we are who we are. Now, we can change the way we are, but not who we are. We can change the way we think. We can change the way we speak. We can change the way we carry ourselves, but we cannot change who we are. I will say this over and over and over again, my friends. God created a masterpiece in you. You want to deviate out of that, it won't work. Now, you can amend who you are. In other words, if you have a shy personality, you can amend that, maybe meet more in the middle and become more courageous. Now, if you have a hostile personality, you can bring it down a notch to be more adaptable to society. If you have a addictive personality, you can change that. Like I have an addictive personality, you can change that not to be addicted as much, but you cannot change who God created you to be. Listen to these words. You cannot change who God created you to be. The masterpiece that you are by the creation of God cannot be changed by you nor anyone else. You can try over and over and over, and eventually you will fall, like I said in the beginning of this episode. Eventually, even if you do succeed, you will never ever be happy. And if you continuously try to be someone that you're not, you will crash and burn, and it might even send you over the edge and possibly put you back into your drinking and drugging days. And the longer and further you manage to push yourself, the more, my friends, painful it will be to get back up and start all over again. You are, and only you are, the person that you are. You may wish you were someone else, but you aren't, and you never will be. You will always be, as if I'm talking to myself, I will always be Ralf Friedrichs. I was Ralf Friedrichs as a drunk. I was Ralf Friedrichs as a Marine. I was Ralf Friedrichs as a college person. I am Ralf Friedrichs as an optician. I am Ralf Friedrichs as your host, an addiction recovery coach, and a life coach. Now, I can maybe change a few things in how I proceed as being Ralf Friedrichs, but I'm always going to be Ralf Friedrichs. You cannot change that. God has created a miracle in you. God has created a masterpiece in you. All of us are designed by God differently. We cannot go out of that design. We cannot change that design. We can change how we think about things. We can change how we act about things. We can change how we utilize our posture, but we cannot change who we are. Pretending to be someone you're not for long enough will cause you to lose the person you really are. Think about that. If you try to be somebody long enough, it will take away from the person you are, because now you have gotten yourself so deep into being someone that you're not that it's almost impossible to get out of. Folks, why would you ever want to be someone that you're not? Why would you want to be someone else? No matter how unhappy you might be, no matter how disappointed you might be in yourself, through the power of Christ and a simple prayer each and every day of asking for guidance and direction and forgiveness will change you, not who you are, because no matter what, whether you're a Christian, you're a sinner, I am still Ralf Friedrichs. But through Christ, you can start changing how you live your life, how you think in life, how you carry yourself in life. That's not changing who you are. That's changing, amending how you proceed through life. Start today. Call me at 844-405-HELP, because together you and I will help each other take our lives back. But I am telling you, my friends, right now, you can never pretend to be someone you're not. You can never pretend to be a different person. You can live differently. You can think differently, but you will always be you, because that is who God has created you to be. That is the masterpiece God created. Each and every human God has created is a different masterpiece. We will never ever change who we are. We can change how we proceed in life. And one of the changes is going from a sinful life, a drug-addicted life, an alcohol-addicted life, to a life of loving Christ. If you truly do not like who you are, isn't today time for changes? Call me at 844-405-HELP, because I promise you, together you and I will help each other. I hope today, Saturday, this morning at 4 a.m. in the morning, September 22nd, is the best day of your life. I hope you change on who you are, but not change the person you are, because you cannot succeed in that. You will never succeed in that. Call me 844-405-HELP, and together you and I will help each other take our lives back. And may God bless you, and have the best weekend. Enjoy your holiday weekend, but remember, be safe. May God bless you.